You're listening to Tell Me Everything with John Fugelsang. Call us at 866-997-GRIT.
I'm John Fugelsang at 866-997-4748. And better late than never, folks. The only reason I come to work on Tuesdays is because I get a little bit of time with Keith Price. Comedian, actor, writer, radio star. Keith was the first openly gay black radio host at SiriusXM on the late lamented morning show on the OutQ channel. My God, I missed that. Be sure to catch his wonderful Broadway-focused Instagram, Keith Price's Curtain Call. Comedy Daddy, I didn't think we'd be seeing you. Welcome back.
Hey there, how are you, baby?
You know what? Just enjoying the Anthropocene as much as the next guy. How are you? Humans are about to lose the food chain role we've had for a long time. I just feel like this is the whole species is caving in. How are you doing?
Well, you know, I guess it's the end of the world as we know it. I mean, it's like cliche to say, but it is interesting to see how we're going to come out of this. I feel like we're being tested in a way that none of us thought we'd ever be tested. And now we have to figure out how we're going to do this, how to navigate this craziness, because this is just craziness. Like, this is absolute sheer insanity. It reminds me of when I used to be in Austin. When I lived in Austin going to college, I worked at this video store and was part of a chain. And one of the folks, Aardvark Video, if it's even still around, one of the managers of one of the stores bought out the other manager that I had worked for, and then sent over his son to come and work in our store as a manager. And, we had all of the videos organized in alphabetical order, by different sections, everything. This mother scratcher came in, and the first thing that he did was just moved all the movie boxes around. He created all this extra chaos with how to find.
You had an Elon. You had an Elon.
Exactly.
He had no idea how the business ran, and he came in to wreck it because Daddy said I could.
Wrecked it. And it was just the most disturbing thing because it went from orderly and fun to full on chaos and like, oh my God, I can't wait to quit. And so I feel like that's what I'm experiencing now again, but on this huge ass level. It's like this idiot has come in and just decided to just upend absolutely every sense of order in order to do God only knows what, which we're still finding out now. And we're just letting it happen. It's like I hear the courts are.
Well, we're not all letting it happen. We're not all letting it happen. We're just the ones who are paying attention here in the early innings. You know this.
I guess so.
It's going to be a lot harder for people to stay dumb about this. I mean, because it's getting worse every day, and more people are getting angry every day.
Every day. Like, look, in less than 2 months, he's like literally unended the entire progress almost of this country. Like it's literally. I mean,
the tariffs and all of his weird, erratic behaviors and decisions are scaring businesses, scaring families, scaring working people. It's scaring any country out of having deals with us. He seems to not really care about doing anything to help the American people. All he's doing is beating up on his enemies because 1/3 of America believes that if you're mean to brown people, that's helping them somehow. But he's cutting all these services for well, he's cutting so many services for wealthy people, for working people, while making Elon and everyone else a lot richer. Cuts the Social Security, cuts the Medicare, cuts the Medicaid, education, food assistance, housing, like anything that literally keeps people alive, they are cutting. So these two petulant little aristocratic brats can hand out more tax cuts to their fellow billionaires. I've been saying, Keith, this is like a mob restaurant being burned down for the insurance money. And to your point, they're going after the marginalized groups first. Before they go after white people, before they really, really put the screws to folks, they're trying it out on Venezuelans, none of whom have been charged with a crime, many of whom are innocent, and they've all been thrown into this gulag. On trans people, banning these brave transgender men and women from serving in the armed forces. They're willing to risk their lives for a country that hates them. And some of them have a lot of specialties, and he's trying to get them thrown out. I mean, he's going, look, Mahmoud Khalil, Palestinian, they've come out and said he committed no crimes, and they're still trying to deport him. Because if they can get away with it with these unpopular groups, Latinos or transgender people or Muslims, well, if they can do it, and people don't put up a fight, first they came for the Muslims, then they came for the trans people, then they came for the people accused of being in Venezuelan street gangs. By the time they came for me, there's nothing but the Heritage Foundation and Stephen Miller's ugly fucking head to stand up for justice, and that's not going to happen.
Well, again, this is the time. It's like I see all these TikTok videos. There's this one woman on TikTok that she laughs, which is the best laugh ever, but she's always pointing out the fact that this is white America eating white America. Like it's the
Yeah.
cannibalization of white America by each other. And the rest of us are stepping back and just watching, because the bottom line is you guys got to get right with the rest of us, not you specifically, John. You know what I'm saying? Not the
No, no, but
you, but you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
I don't even know if
it's
it's
like,
yeah, but go ahead. Go
because
ahead. I
again,
have thoughts. But go
because
ahead.
we are as people of color always on the front lines when all these things go down, and it's the white folks in the back going yay, yay, and now we've got to part the waves, and we've got to push. I'm sorry, Karens and Beckys and Jonathans and y'all are going to have to start feeling some of this heat in order for you to get motivated enough to want to work with the people who have been trying to tell you all of this time that this particular regimen, a regime of people, really don't have your interests at heart. We've been trying to tell you
Exactly.
that from the very beginning, and you choose not to listen because you're racist. You choose not to listen because you're
I know.
sadly, illiterate or ignorant. You're sadly all of those things.
Yeah.
But all of those things are things that you can approve upon yourself to be better people. And so until you choose to fix that, I don't know how we're going to
Yeah.
be able to pull everybody over. You know what I'm saying? You
My
feeling me?
only my only note is I'm not really sure that it's white people eating each other, Keith. I think there's millions of white people who've been forced to behave for a couple of decades, and they've been raised in the shadow of the civil rights movement, really mad they can't come out and say the things they want to say and be as hateful as they want to be. And Donald Trump
Right.
has come along and given a permission structure for shitty white people to be openly shitty. I've always
Right.
said America's an old couch and Trump is the black light. I don't know if it's actually white people eating themselves. I think it's just
Well,
the
no,
shitty
but
white
it's
people have taken off their camouflage, and we can all see how it is.
right. But those shitty white people are not related to me. They're related to you. Not you, but you
Oh,
know
I
what I'm
know
saying?
that.
The bigger you.
I know
And
that.
so
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
is so it is not incumbent upon us
Am I
to
my
try to
shitty
check.
white person's keeper?
Yes, you're gonna have to be. Because at this
Well,
point now they're not listening. We tried to do it
they're not
the
going
cool,
to.
calm way. So, you're going to have to get in, and y'all, as family, are going to have to figure out how to fix
Oh,
this.
as
Because,
family. Can I tell you a
they
very
ain't
unpleasant
mine.
truth about? Can I tell you a very unpleasant truth about my Caucasian brethren? The ones who are racist, they really don't give a fuck what the non-racist white people think, and they view guys like me, hunkies of my hue, we're race
Hmm.
traitors to them, and always have been. I mean, I got that
Okay,
shit as a
well,
kid.
but now
I,
when they
I got that
can't
shit as a
get their
kid.
health
You're taking
care,
the black side over your own people? I can't tell you how many times that was said to me on Long Island because I like civil rights. You're taking the black side over your own people? And I'm like, dude,
yeah,
you're a fucking racist. You're not my people.
yeah. But see, here's the thing. They can say all of that shit now, but when they don't have health care either, and
Yeah,
when they still can't buy
preach.
eggs either,
I
when they still are
preach.
mad about gasoline being high either, then
Mm,
it's what is all of that going to get you? And so in the end, voting for all of that stuff that's helping you continue that thought process is now going to be the same thing that's got your ass wondering how you're going to pay your insurance bill, or if you're going to
oh,
have
Keith, I
insurance,
missed you.
or if I'm
I
just
missed you
saying,
so much.
you
I
know,
know. Let me go to the phones before the break. Hang on.
simple,
Pit Doc is on
simple.
line one from Ohio. I want to get Pit Doc in on this. Pit Doc, welcome. You're on with Keith. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, John. Hi, Keith.
Hey there.
What's the
Hello.
difference between chickpeas and garbanzos?
What?
Donald Trump never had garbanzos on his face.
Lord have mercy.
That's why you're a
Oh,
doctor and I'm a mook. Very nice.
Of course
Very
it is.
nice. Anything
Hi,
else,
John.
Pit Doc?
Now,
All right. I'm going to be sharing that with the 13-year-old I live with. Okay. We got to take another break. Keith, will you stay with us, please? Did you know I'm the parent of a teenager now? It's horrible. They let me do
oh
that.
my
It's
God.
awful. There ought to be a
Oh my
law. I
God.
know. I mean, at least I'm old enough to embarrass them. 866-997-GRIT. Please stay with us, Keith. We'll be right back. This is Progress.